So, San Diego Comic-Con is going to be at home this year, and the trailers are already starting to come out. San Diego Comic-Con is one of the biggest pop culture events that happens every year, but with everything going around this year, they're deciding to hold the convention at home for everyone to see. It's looking more and more unlikely that Marvel Studios and Kevin Feige will be showing up, as well as Lucasfilm, as well as DC, because they have their own fandom event in August. But regardless, it looks like we will be getting a little bit of Marvel at least this weekend with New Mutants. The movie New Mutants was going to be released by 20th Century Fox before the merger happened between Fox and Disney, and ever since that time it's just kind of been in production hell for the last few years. Disney was finally in a position to release the movie this year, and then everything went down, and now it's been delayed even further. Regardless, it looks like Disney has some sort of faith in this movie, as they're sticking with the theatrical release date, although I do think it's still possible that this movie will be released on Disney Plus in the foreseeable future. At any rate, a new trailer is dropped, and I'm here to give you my reaction and review of this new trailer for New Mutants. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already to get more content, as Comic-Con is coming up, and if anything big happens, then I'll be sure to be posting about it on this YouTube channel. The trailer that they put out today is about 50 seconds long, so it's really not much of a trailer and more of a teaser, which honestly is kind of smart of Disney or Fox or whoever's marketing this film to do, because we don't even know when this movie is going to come out in theaters, right? Conventional wisdom says the closer you get to a movie's release, the more you have to market a film, and the more money it's going to cost you to market that film. And since we don't really know when the release of this movie is going to be, it's actually a smart move of Disney or Fox, again, I don't know who's marketing the film, to just put out a short little 50-second trailer ahead of Comic-Con. Probably wouldn't have cost them that much money to do this. Let's talk about the trailer itself, though. In all honesty, it's pretty similar to the trailers that we've gotten thus far for this movie. It's got that same sort of creepy vibe with the creepy music, and if you guys know me, then I'm not a huge fan of horror, so I'm not a huge fan of this concept to begin with. However, that's a completely subjective view, and you guys may have completely different views on horror films. And from an executive standpoint, I think making this movie is a really good idea, because it looks like a different, completely new kind of X-Men movie. Again, one of the things that 20th Century Fox is really good at is making different kind of X-Men movies with Logan and Deadpool, which are two of the best comic book movies released in the last 10 years. And so by letting the directors have their own creative freedom and just create whatever they want with these characters, you really end up getting some really, really well-made films. And despite everything that we've heard about the production and the delays, this movie does look pretty decent for what it's worth. Now again, this isn't going to be the huge big budget X-Men movie that we expect from films like Dark Phoenix, for example. And it actually has a really indie sort of vibe, because the locations and the sets, they look sort of cheap in a certain sense, although that might lend to the aesthetic of the movie itself. But above all, we get some really good looks at the characters, which is really important for a film called New Mutants. Charlie Heaton, for example, we get to see him a little bit more, and I mean, who doesn't love Charlie Heaton from Stranger Things? And from the little glimpse of dialogue that we got from Magic, played by Anya Taylor-Joy, I think she looks really cool, actually. Again, this trailer wasn't really trying to do much in terms of wowing the audience. It was really just more of a reminder to say, hey, this is still a movie that's going to come out eventually. But overall, the general premise looks solid. They're trying to escape this sort of haunted scientist laboratory, and the vibe looks consistent at the very least. If it weren't an X-Men movie, it may not have been something that I would have been jumping at the bit to go see, because again, horror is just not my thing. But for what it's worth, I think this looks like a solid movie so far. And above all else, this was just really to promote their Comic-Con panel on Saturday, so comment down below with your thoughts on the New Mutant teaser. If anything new comes out from Comic-Con that's worth talking about, then I will be sure to make some videos about that. In the meantime, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button to support the channel, and if you'd like to check out some more content right now, then check out the videos on the screen. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.